afternoon, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and Crazy Josh Cravey has tagged me for the Super Survey. Now, I'll try to answer these questions as best as I can, and maybe you guys will learn a thing or two. Where did I get my name? Well, a long time ago, I actually had an Uncle Ted. Unfortunately, he passed away when I was very young. From what I was told, he had a great sense of humor, and I guess that's where I get my sense of humor. So, there you go, there you have it. Now, as for the name Speed Learner, where did I get that? Well, when I was a kid, I was very thin and I walked very, very fast. So I ended up with the name of Speed Walker. Well, later on, I learned the art of speed reading and advanced memory techniques, and so I ended up giving myself the name of Speed Learner. Well, I just kind of caught on, and there you go. So there's your story there. Okay. What is the most expensive casual item of clothing I have ever bought? Well, this is something I do on a regular basis. You would think that shirts or pants would be the most expensive thing, but not really. Dr. Scholl's shoes. I prefer Dr. Scholl's shoes. And so, therefore, they're not cheap. Go to the store, you'll find out they're not cheap. And so, therefore, there you go. Alrighty. Now, what about the first kiss I ever had? Well, to me, that's kind of a private thing. It really is. It's something that I only share with a few very close people. And I have reasons for this, and I won't share them here on YouTube, but it's kind of a personal thing for me. So, I'm sorry to say I'm not going to answer that one. As for first gig, well, I've never been in a band. I did play the recorder when I was a kid, and I have played the guitar before, but to say that I've actually played in a band, really haven't. So, I guess I really don't have a first gig. I've been in stage plays before, in junior high and high school, but first gig, not really. Alright, what was the first job I ever wanted as a kid? Probably police officer. I had an incredible sense of justice back then, which I still have today. So, yeah, first job I wanted as a kid was a police officer. That's really true. Alright, what is the strangest food I have ever eaten? Well, I had a friend of mine, and she took me out to a Chinese buffet place. And I had a whole bunch of food there that was kind of strange. But the thing I remember most, and a lot of people think, well, what are you talking about in this one? Well, I went to Springfield one day, and they had this dollar store. And I went in there, and I bought a box of blueberry cookies. And when I tried to eat them, oh, they were horrible. They were terrible. I couldn't believe it. Found out that the cookies were expired. Wow. So anyway, lesson learned. Anytime you go to a dollar store, you might want to check the expiration dates, because if you don't, well, yeah. Okay. Now then, what would you name your kids if you had any? Well, I don't have any, and I have no immediate plans to have any kids in the anywhere distant future, so I guess there really is not much of an answer there. Now, if you're talking about pets, I've named a lot of pets over my lifetime. Heathcliff, Bootsy, you name it. As for future pets, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Okay. Who was my favorite school teacher? It was my kindergarten teacher. Oh, she was the nicest person I ever knew. And darn if I could remember her name right at the moment, but I don't. But she was a very nice person. I'm glad I got to meet her, and I'm glad I got to spend time in her class. So, yeah, she was a really nice lady. Anyway, let's go on here. Group of school friends. Well, I'll tell you what I do remember, and you just kind of have to take it from there. When I went to lunch in high school, there were 3 other people that used to sit with me. Okay? And I'll be the first to say that of the 4 of us that sat together, I was the thinnest of the bunch. I really was. And, of course, I was like a real string bean. I was almost an unhealthy thin, so yeah, that doesn't say much. As for the other 3, One was kind of the quiet, shy type. Another one was an extrovert instead of an introvert. And the other one really didn't have a whole lot to talk about. There you go. So it ended up being the four of us. We got along pretty good. And that was us. And we sat together all the way from the freshman year till senior in high school. So I guess that's about all I can say about that. Favorite place in the world? Well, boy. I've never actually been out of the Midwest. One of my favorite places is Springfield, Illinois. I love the town very much. I like the town I live in now. As for where I would like to go, I would like to visit every one of the 50 states. I certainly would love to visit Great Britain, and I would love to visit Italy. I'd even love to visit Jerusalem if I could get a chance. But other than that, well, not much to tell you on that one either. Interesting questions. I'm sure there are a lot of people who have good answers for these, but, well, I just don't get out that much. I do get out, there's no question about it, but I don't get out as much as I probably should, and so therefore. Anyway, thus concludes my super survey. Who would I tag next? Anybody that watches this. Literally, anybody that watches this video, I would tag them and say, hey, go for it. Alright. Well, I wish I could have given you more of an answer than what I did. Maybe you learned some things, maybe you didn't. I don't know. I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.